afternoon, everybody, and welcome to your sunset safari of today. Now, my name is Lauren, and on camera I have Davi, and of course, we're sitting here with the Nkahuma Pride, plus the Mangeni male. I believe they are exactly where they were left this morning. Of course, Tristan had them, and they were very, very active and very interested in the buffalo. But it seems like they have gone flat since then and they really haven't moved, which is making me think they're going to move soon. So, of course, this is happening as you see it. We're live, interactive, and we need you to send in your comments and questions using the hashtag Safari Live on Twitter or on the YouTube chat stream. And this special broadcast is brought to you by Metamucil. So, my thoughts are Trishala passed the buffalo earlier, so they're really not too far from here. And here are the lions. We're hoping, I'm anticipating, because it's been a really cool day, it's very overcast, it's really not, the sun really hasn't penetrated through here much today at all. It's not been as warm as it was yesterday, so my thoughts are that these lions are going to rise and wake up sort of sooner rather than later because of today's weather conditions. Well, they did actually get up. They did move position, but not very far. They all did a communal toilet stop and then went back to sleep. We have a question about the Mangeni male getting a personal name. It's a bit of a tricky question. I imagine that it will happen, and it's a sort of joint effort by the community and the stakeholders around here. So it's not normally Wild Earth that give the names. And of course, there's little nicknames like Purple Eyes and Amber Eyes because she has a purple eye and amber eyes. But I imagine when the Mangeni male gets named, he will be named by the sort of local authorities and the game rangers around here. That will be their decision. But of course, he's been known for quite a long time as a Mangeni male around here. It's been a while since I've seen him as well, and he's looking very, very good, very handsome, very strong, and he's obviously well recovered from the dark old days when I first saw him absolutely savaged by mange. So he's came a long way since then. Joshua's asking about confirmation of the new cubs. Speculation, yes. It does appear that there's mothers who are suckling. It does appear that cubs have been seen. Of course, Tristan tried really hard to find them this morning, but we have not seen them. And confirmation, Joshua, no. We were discussing at breakfast where the cubs could potentially be stashed in the dens. So there's lots of different ideas, but of course we have not seen them. So hopefully at some point we will. It would be absolutely lovely to have little cubs running around on Juma. It's something you see quite regularly in the Mara, but out here in Juma, it's really not. So fingers crossed that is the situation, and fingers crossed we actually get to see the little furballs soon. I think that would be quite adorable. So it's an all-girl team out today. Well, apart from the cameraman, of course. But let's send you to the other girl who's out on drive today, Trishala.
It is, which pretty much makes it a 50-50 show. But hey, I'm happy to roll with it being a girls' show. Why not? And welcome everybody to the regular show. As usual, I do hope that you watched part of the kids show because we had Tlalamba and she was moving through a really, really thick block. It was just actually kind of near the dam, or in that same drainage that the Vuyatela Dam comes out onto. So she was there and she was moving about and she looked like she was going to come out onto the road. But we managed to catch her, we managed to look at her, which is really nice. It was good for the kids as well. So I'm just getting to see, or having a look at tracks around just see if she came out here. But she also looked like she's quite intent on catching something. It's really overcast today and the sun has not really shined very much at all. So maybe she's trying to use that to her advantage. And it was really nice because we heard a whole lot of alarm calls and they were looking right into that drainage, and nonetheless she was there. Oh, none. Okay, I'm going to scratch around there here a little bit. Dan the man, and you would like to know if she's in any danger from the Inkahumas. As long as she keeps her distance, she should be fine. And she's not... Oh, I mean, it's probably less than a kilometer that splits them, or about a kilometer or so at the moment. But the thing is, lions are not looking for leopards, and leopards are not looking for lions. They don't want to really come across each other, unless, of course, the lions are trying to steal something from the leopard. So she should be fine if she behaves herself and doesn't actually run into them. So they're not too far from here, like I said, probably about a kilometer or so. But I think that they are pretty much uninterested at the moment, especially since they're basically flat with Lauren. But if she had to walk into them, they would give her a proper scare. Very much so. Jess, you'd like to know when Tlalamba will be ready to mate. By about 3 years old, most leopards are ready to go. They can definitely mate, but the problem with the mating rights is you may stumble upon an opportunity to mate, but you can't, if you don't have a territory, you're not going to be able to really bring the woman in, bring the ladies in. It is sort of like you need to hold a territory, be impressive in that way, and then mating rights follow. So it's not as if you're going to get these nomadic males that run around constantly mating with females that are just of age. That, of course, it can happen occasionally, but more often than not, males need to establish a territory, become fully territorial, and then mating soon ensues. So we are in a very, very similar place. So, in fact, to the exact place where we've had Hosanna last night, in these thickets to my right here. So I'm going to scratch around, like I said, a little bit here, and then we will move on. But I'll send you to Lauren in the meantime so we can see how flat those cats are and be sure that they won't come after Tlalamba.
Sparked some of their attention, at least. Oh, look at that. That's so cute. Oh, that was actually very cute. So they're not all in deep sleeps. They are, of course, rising ever so often. And I genuinely don't think it's going to be long until they do get up. And of course, as you all know, it has been such a long time since buffalo have been on the property. And it's great to see that the Nkahumas are here, and they have been here for some time. Because, of course, lion prides have really large home ranges. And within that, they all have, different territories depending on exactly what their needs are. Now, they'll have a core central region that they'll occupy and maintain, and that's theirs and theirs alone. But these boundaries will change. The boundaries are fluid. They're not fixed and linear quite as we would like to see. And of course, where we are right now is very much Nkahuma land. This is the land of the Nkahumas. And if there was any lionesses or any other prides that did try to come in, they absolutely would fight them and defend their own area. This is very much theirs. Now, it's a bit of a guess, but it is sort of estimated that... Just having a look at this male's mane. On the left side, it looks quite blood-soaked. I wonder if he's fed on something today. But of course, he's gone flat as a pancake. It is estimated that a home range is about 8,000 hectares. So it's not on average. So it's not exact, if you like, but I think it's a fair guess. So 8,000 hectares for a pride of lions. And of course, they work as a team. They have all of this in their stride. It's an advantage to lions, quite unlike Tingana or even Hukamuri, who has to patrol their territories completely alone. Gorpal is saying, why do animals sleep in the daytime? Well, generally it depends if the animal is diurnal, which means sort of active in the day, or nocturnal, which means active in the night. So of course your impala and your various antelope species are very much diurnal, which means they feed and do everything during the day. They're very, very active, but they mainly rest and digest at night. Whereas your lions and your leopards are actually more on the nocturnal side. So they're very, very active at night for territory patrols, for hunting, for feeding, for suckling, for grooming, all sorts of things. So during the day, they do make the most of it and they will snooze a lot. So to hunt, expends a lot of energy for a lion. It takes a lot out of them to actually make a hunt. So they need to recover from that. They can't be running at a deficit of energy. So by snoozing, they're actually just recovering their energy, restoring that, and possibly digesting anything that they might have fed on. And here in South Africa in the summer, it is extremely hot. Hot, hot, hot. So hot that even I cannot sunbathe in it, and that is saying something. So of course it's uncomfortable for these mammals. They're covered in hair, they're covered in fur. So normally it's just easier. They expend a lot less energy if they just rest in that heat rather than hunt in that heat. And that's not to say they don't do it, because they do, but they will expend a lot more energy when it's that hot. They will lose a lot more water. So it's a little bit more beneficial for them to hunt when it's much cooler. And that is why they snooze a lot during the day. And it is said, they can sleep up to 20 hours a day, which means there's only 4 hours remaining. But that's not always the case. I have seen lions a lot more active than that. Ravinder's asking a question that, well, I'm not sure I'm able to answer, but I would love to know the answer. Do I know what they have eaten today? I absolutely do not. I literally just thought I saw some blood stains on the Mangani male's left side, but it's possible that they've actually not eaten anything. We haven't had any updates since Tristan left them, and I'm obviously now with them for the start of the kids' drive. It could possibly be that they haven't eaten anything, which means they will be hungry, which means at some point they're going to get up, and it's starting to get a little bit chilly, and they are going to go in search of food. Now, the lioness at the very, very back that's sort of curled into a ball, Davy, I'll give you a good view of her. She looks rather skinny, I would say. If you sort of look at her back and her rib cage, yep, she looks on the skinny side. None of them look particularly full. Normally when lions eat, they sort of gorge themselves and the bellies extend, and you can really see that they've had a good meal. But none of them look particularly full, so I really do feel that they will get up at some point and they will go and hunt. Now, my best memory of following the Nkahumas was actually with Seb when they spotted a buffalo. So we decided to boon the bash through and follow them, and of course I was trying so hard to follow the lions and make sure I didn't lose sight of them. That is when I crashed into a tree and I lost sight of everything. So that's probably my best memory with the Nkahumas. I lost sight of the lions and I lost sight of the buffalo and the poor tree and the poor car. Yes, so the Nkahumas have given me a lot of memories that I really won't forget in a hurry, but that's probably my best one. So in the Mara, it's actually quite easy to follow lion hunts because it's so open. But obviously at Juma, it's a lot more thick, it's a lot more dense, and it's just a little bit more difficult to actually follow them. But I'm sure it's not just me with lots of Nkahuma stories. Let's go across to Trish and see if she has any for you.